Now, honestly, I don't think Spice and Wolf fans are ready for this conversation, nor will they ever be ready. But let's be honest with ourselves. I love Holo, fantastic character. I love the dynamic between her and Lawrence. But if we take a step back, she actually wouldn't be one of the good waifus to legitimately have if we turn this real. Now, I'm not saying she's a Higurashi level crazy, but there's a reason why people aren't supposed to have wolves as pets. Dogs alone can have moments, even if they're really well trained, that they forget that you're not a dog and can hurt you because of the different level of strength, especially in their jaws. When she took a bite out of that jerky, I just realized, man, I was like, if this girl has a mood swing, even if she's not, like, purposely trying to kill Lawrence, her claws, her teeth, she can literally kill our boy in a fit of rage. Now, I already know. The Holo being like, no, I'm gonna wish Holo into existence. Everyone can have mood swings. Someone could have a knife and have it. It's like, no. In actuality, Holo would not be a good waifu because at the end of the day, she is a part wolf. And wolves, as we see, the way they can lash out is not in a way humans could deal with. And I already know there's gonna be some people say, I can take it. I like the cuts. I like the pain. And bro, power to you. But you have a much higher success rate of dying than not dying. Mostly jokes aside, but if you really do think of it, like, would you really want to gamble with the wolf? And I already know there's at least 30% of my community that would probably say I'd gamble with the wolf, but it's something to think about. Now, mostly jokes aside though, this was a really good episode. So we get properly introduced to Norah, who is the shepherd, and honestly, I'm really hoping we get to see a decent amount more of her. I assume we will, especially with the way that one priest was giving her the side eye. So it should be an interesting next episode, but honestly, jealous Holo, envious Holo, and pissed off Holo, mood swing Holo, she scared me, man, and rip Lawrence if he ever properly gets on her bad side. Full live reactions over on Patreon, though. If you want to see my full and good thought to this or any of these Spice Wolf episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, I have been having a great time. I love the dynamic, I love the build-up, and honestly, it's kind of interesting when you have a character who actually does want to kill a fool. I mean, if you let Holo be Holo by herself, she would have ripped into at least a couple of those sheep in the middle of the night. Like, that wasn't her just being like, ooh, some raw sheep would be... No, like, she legitimately... If Lawrence gave the go-ahead, she would have done so. And honestly, it's up in the air on what would have happened with Norah. But I do like the idea because, like, one of the things that's the most interesting about this show, and was very clear early on, is the difference of how a human, and clearly an animal, view situations. And the idea of working with a shepherd, I mean, pretty much Holo's natural enemy, her sworn enemy. You know, wolves are just trying to eat the sheep. That is in their nature, to eat their prey. And then this little bitch comes around and says no, and stops you. Holo naturally dislikes that, and naturally is just like, this isn't my person. And it's going to be interesting because you know for sure, I mean, I guess you can't say anything's for sure, but I'm like 95% sure that Norah will eventually learn that, you know, Holo is in fact a wise wolf. And it'll be interesting because the first one who's clearly noticed is the dog. The dog has been given side-eye the entire journey to get to this new area. And it's very interesting to see because, like, I thought the dog was going to, like, start barking or going up like, you know, like a bomb dog or a drug dog, just like going all be like, no master, this is the issue right here. But instead it just gave side eye. So the dog seems suspicious, but not to the point of exposing. But like I said at the start of the video, when she's walking through the town, there's like this church and a group of people talking, and one of the priests kind of gives this, you know, ominous side eye. So I imagine something's gonna be happening, but time will tell. But it's kind of cute because it could have been a lot more bloody. Claws could have come out. The jerky could have been the only thing not getting bit. I mean, we did learn that it is canon that Holo eats ass, so at the end of the day, our boy could have lost a chunk of his ass here, given the hostility she has. But I love the fact that, like, despite the hostility, it was cute seeing them legitimately bond. And honestly, Holo, despite a lot of her behavior being very animalistic, at the end of the day, she also does feel like a person, a girl, and the idea that, like, once you give her a snack, once you give her some compliments, she forgets. She's like, oh yeah, I did forget to comb my tail, but it kind of seems silly to get upset by that now that I'm I'm full, I had some jerky, I got some nice praises. Like, the fact that our boy had to find he was blindfolded, hands tied behind his back, earplugs in, and just had to walk across a minefield where there's like a singular step that wouldn't set it off. And this man did 2 jumps, one to land in that exact spot that wouldn't blow him up, and another jump to get out of it. Because somehow he avoided getting his throat slit, and he came real close to dealing with a Higurashi situation, if we're being honest. But the idea of him, like, hyping her up, being like, yeah, she might be cute, but no one's cuter than you, and she's like, I'll allow it. My favorite part is actually, though, like, at the very end, when he's going in to reunite with one of his old pals, he tells her to wait outside, and, you know, the idea that he pretty much bribes her like a little kid, like, if you're good, I'll get you this, and he's like, okay, you don't want it? She's like, of course I want it. But it's like, I'm not a kid. It's just, I love their dynamic, man. It's just so freaking cute. But I mean, in actuality, would you actually want to have a wolf waifu? I know half the community would say yes, but for me, no. Like, I don't want to die. But in terms of an anime, I'm absolutely rooting for Lawrence. There's no one better, and I think Holo will definitely be one of the best girls of this year. And honestly, Lawrence ain't nothing to shy away from either. Sometimes when you get into these shows, you know, it's like driven by like, oh, is the MC really good, or is his love interest really good? But the thing about it is, while I do like Holo more than Lawrence, that's not me saying Lawrence is a weaker character. It's just like the personality of Holo is just more fun. Lawrence is so good. He's intelligent, the way he speaks, the way he thinks, he is just as charismatic as Holo, just in a opposite way. She's more aggressive cute, he's more like logical, like wholesome is probably the best way to put it. That's why they make such a brilliant and perfect pair in my humble opinion. But it'll be interesting to see because I like Norah a lot so far. She definitely has been one of the more, like, there's nothing explosive about her character, but she's so, like, innocent, and I like the just subtle remarks about how she wants to be a tailor, but then, like, she almost feels forced in the current situation. It's like, there's a lot going on with her character there, and I'm interested to see what we'll explore going forward as time presses on. But this was a great episode. Last week we get the canon confirmation that she bites people on the ass, and in this week's episode we learn why it's probably not the best idea to have a wolf waifu. Spice and Wolf do we trust? Let me know what you thought down below though. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can know if I would upload more. Like mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we have Zen Virus, Lauren Bass, A, Edvar, Golden Angel, 1517, and we also have Alcerin. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and if you do find yourself getting isekai'd, for the love of God, just be careful you don't get your throat slit, because the way some of my comment section talks and what I see online, you dumb mofos, it ain't just gonna be Truck-kun that's gonna get you. It's gonna be the goddamn wise wolves. Believe it. But have a good one.